Word on the streets is that about a dozen rappers were just arrested, right after new leaked footage from 50 Cent's documentary went viral, shocking everyone in hip-hop. The leaks reportedly show career-ruining moments, and 50 Cent hasn't held back, openly mocking them and sharing clips of their arrests. Today, we're breaking down the footage, the fallout, and why the industry can't stop talking about it. To understand how we got here, you have to go back to December 2025. That is when the 4-part Netflix docuseries titled Sean Combs' The Reckoning dropped on the platform. 50 Cent, whose real name is Curtis James Jackson III, partnered with director Alexandria Stapleton to give fans an inside look at Diddy's true character. The 4-part series was released all at once on the streaming service just under 2 years after 50 Cent revealed he was developing the docuseries on December 7, 2023. Now, this was not some low-budget internet production. This was a full-scale Netflix operation. Netflix described the series as a jaw-dropping, investigative, and revelatory documentary series that unpacks the shocking allegations behind Sean Diddy Combs and his bad boy empire, spanning decades of his life and career. The series covered a wide range of material. Episodes 1 and 2 re-examined the East Coast-West Coast tensions of the 1990s, including the unsolved murders of Tupac Shakur and Christopher the Notorious B.I.G. Wallace. The 4-part docuseries explored pivotal moments in Diddy's life and career, including his intense battle with Death Row Records and prominent rap figures from the 90s, his romantic relationships with celebrities, including Cassie Ventura, and much more. But the part that made the biggest impact was the footage nobody expected to see. The docuseries included never-before-seen footage filmed in the 6 days before Diddy's arrest, as well as handwritten journal entries from Bad Boy co-founder Kirk Burroughs, documenting years of managing Diddy's personal and financial affairs. And there is a backstory behind that footage that made things complicated very fast. The footage came from a videographer Diddy hired to document his life and legal woes, intended for a personal documentary. After Diddy's arrest, a third-party freelancer allegedly leaked the content, while the lead documentarian Michael Oberlees was out of town. Oberlees told Rolling Stone on December 11th that the leak wasn't about a payment dispute. It was a betrayal, he says, by someone who unethically passed the footage to 50 Cent. That footage contained some material that was immediately striking. The footage shows a clearly agitated Diddy lashing out to his lawyer about losing, also instructing his legal team to find someone that'll work with us, that has dealt in the dirtiest of dirty business, to push back against the various claims against him. When 50 Cent was asked about this footage during interviews, he did not exactly give a clear answer on how he got it. In an interview with The Hollywood Reporter on Monday, ahead of the docuseries' Tuesday release, both Jackson and Stapleton were tight-lipped about how the pre-arrest footage was acquired for their series, with the rapper asking THR, "Why would you ask us to reveal our sources?" The director herself gave a statement that drew a hard line. Director Alexandria Stapleton explained, "It came to us. We obtained the footage legally and have the necessary rights." One thing about Sean Combs is that he's always filming himself, and it's been an obsession throughout the decades. And the documentary was not short on personal moments that painted Diddy in a certain light. Clips from The Reckoning sparked wide-ranging reactions, and one that drew attention from many, including 50 Cent, featured Diddy greeting fans in Harlem. After taking pictures with his supporters, the rapper hopped back into his luxury vehicle and told those around him he needed hand sanitizer and a bath. Got in the car and said, "Ugh, I feel like I need to wash, like I'm dirty." "It shows you his character," 50 Cent said. 50 Cent explained in an interview with ABC News and Robin Roberts why he felt the need to be involved. The Reckoning became available for streaming on Netflix in early December 2025, and in an interview with ABC News and Robin Roberts, 50 Cent, an executive producer, explained why he jumped on board to help bring the docuseries to life. "If I didn't say anything, you would interpret it." As hip-hop is fine with his behaviors, the rapper said, he also framed the project as a responsibility. According to 50 Cent, he felt an obligation to speak up for those who couldn't speak for themselves, adding that he's one of the few prominent figures being vocal. He went on to say that if he didn't stand up for what he knows is right, an entire culture could be painted in a false light. The numbers backed up the interest. In December, he partnered with Netflix to produce Sean Combs' The Reckoning, a docuseries examining claims tied to Combs. The series reportedly attracted more than 50 million views after its release, reflecting widespread public interest. In fact, 50 Cent himself was surprised by the viewership. "I could feel it was going to be a big success," he admitted. "But when it comes in over Stranger Things, I didn't anticipate that much success because that's a big franchise. So the documentary landed, it was a hit, and it changed the way people in hip-hop look at 50 Cent. He is no longer just the guy who trolls on Instagram, He is now the guy who can put your life on screen for millions of people to judge. The reaction from Diddy's camp was immediate and aggressive. Sean Diddy Combs' team spoke out about the new Netflix documentary, from its producer and his longtime rival, slamming the series that features footage the beleaguered mogul had shot of his life in the days before his September 2024 arrest, as a shameful hit piece that is an unfair, illegal, and an unnecessary and deeply personal affront. Diddy's spokesperson Judah Engelmeyer laid out their position in a public statement. Netflix relied on stolen footage that was never authorized for release. A rep for Combs told Variety in a statement December 1st, as Netflix and CEO Ted Sarandos know, Mr. Combs has been amassing footage since he was 19. To tell his own story in his own way, it is fundamentally unfair and illegal for Netflix to misappropriate that work. Beyond the legal claims, Diddy's team took direct aim at 50 Cent himself. The statement read, "It is equally staggering that Netflix handed creative control to Curtis 50 Cent Jackson, a longtime adversary with a personal vendetta who has spent too much time slandering Mr. Combs. Beyond the legal issues, this is a personal breach of trust. Mr. Combs has long respected Ted Sarandos and admired the legacy of Clarence Avant. For Netflix to give his life story to someone who has publicly attacked him for decades feels like an unnecessary and deeply personal affront. At minimum, he expected fairness from people he respected." Diddy's legal team also sent Netflix a cease and desist just before the documentary dropped, alleging the use of private pre-indictment footage was unauthorized. They slammed the doc as a shameful hit piece, but Netflix aired it anyway, and 50 Cent mocked the legal threat online. Netflix pushed back on every claim from Diddy's camp. The claims being made about Sean Combs' The Reckoning are false. The project has no ties to any past conversations between Sean Combs and Netflix. The footage of Combs leading up to his indictment and arrest were legally obtained. This is not a hit piece or an act of retribution. Curtis Jackson is an executive producer, but does not have creative control. No one was paid to participate. That last line is worth pausing on. Netflix explicitly stated that 50 Cent does not have creative control, a direct response to Diddy's claims about the project being a vendetta piece. And then things got bizarre. In the latest twist, 50 Cent claimed on his social media recently that he'd received an early Christmas gift from Diddy in the wake of the documentary's release. He posted a photo of a bouquet of flowers, allegedly sent to him while he was performing at a club in Miami. While receiving flowers from someone you've made a documentary about might seem more than a little intimidating, Diddy's team insisted he didn't send them. When asked by Complex about the gift, they said it didn't happen, adding, "Perhaps someone played a joke in poor taste." Meanwhile, the legal situation for Diddy continued to get worse. Interest in the allegations against Sean Diddy Combs surged with the release of the documentary. The series includes interviews with jurors from Diddy's federal trial, part of a sweeping case that began in September 2024, when Combs was arrested and charged with racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, and transportation to engage in prostitution. The docuseries came just 2 months after the disgraced rapper was sentenced to 50 months in prison following his conviction on 2 prostitution charges in October 2025. After over a year in Brooklyn's harsh Metropolitan Detention Center, Combs' request for transfer to cushier surroundings was granted. On October 30th, he was moved to the relatively low-security Fort Dix FCI in New Jersey, and even in 2026, the legal troubles keep compounding. Curtis 50 Cent Jackson has once again weighed in on the ongoing controversy surrounding Sean Diddy Combs, responding publicly after new claims surfaced in court proceedings tied to the music mogul. According to reports from the hearing, an escort service owner testified that Combs allegedly requested more than 30 male escorts. Attorneys involved in the matter also indicated that additional state criminal charges could potentially be filed. 50 Cent responded to these latest allegations on Instagram. In typical fashion, shortly after the reports circulated, Jackson addressed the situation on Instagram with a blunt message directed at his longtime rival. New charges, court docs say Diddy raped a male escort, then threatened him saying, "I got 2-pack hit," he wrote. And there is a lawsuit connected to the documentary itself. A former sex worker featured in the documentary filed a lawsuit against both 50 Cent and Netflix, alleging misrepresentation. Defendants deliberately edited, distorted, and misrepresented plaintiff's account to portray Cassie Ventura, plaintiff's primary trafficker, as a victim, while omitting and suppressing plaintiff's testimony, the lawsuit alleges. So even as 50 Cent celebrates the documentary's success, there are legal consequences coming at him from multiple angles. But none of that has slowed him down, not even a little bit. Now, to fully understand why 50 Cent went this hard on the documentary, you need to understand how deep the beef goes. And it goes back over 2 decades. Sean Diddy Combs and Curtis 50 Cent Jackson have been peers in the entertainment industry for decades. but they're not exactly friends. While they've collaborated a few times in the past, they've since become rivals in a decades-long feud involving business clashes, diss tracks, murder conspiracy theories, viral trolling, and most recently, a Netflix documentary. Produced by 50 Cent about Diddy's legal troubles, their complicated story stretches over 25 years at this point. The early chapters were relatively calm. The alleged beef between the pair seems to have been started early in 50 Cent's career, after he worked with Combs on several hits from the notorious B.I.G.'s posthumous 1999 album Born Again. They were in the same circles, they did business together. It did not last. In 2006, 50 Cent released a diss track, The Bomb, which featured sounds of gunfire, and his allegation that Combs knew the identity of the killer, of Christopher Wallace, a rapper known as the Notorious B.I.G., who was both a protege and best friend to Combs. That was a line that once crossed could not be taken back. 50 Cent was publicly accusing Diddy of knowing who killed Biggie, one of the most sensitive and unresolved events in hip-hop history. No one has ever been charged with the murder. This marked a drastic shift in 50's and Puff's relations. While everything appeared docile in the public eye, it's clear something shifted around 2006 that caused 50 Cent to get aggressive. There were moments of quiet. This seemed to usher in a relatively peaceful time between Diddy and 50 Cent. The latter playfully interrupted an interview with Puff a year later, exchanging some witty banter. Then, Diddy and 50 Cent joined forces to troll Rick Ross during the G-Unit leader's feud with Rose in 2009. But the jabs always came back. By 2014, 50 Cent was back in the saddle, firing off more shots at Puff. While chatting with 92Q Jams at the time, 50 Cent called Diddy's new single Big Homie straight trash. Puff's still out there, he don't even need a record cause he don't got one, 50 said. And one of the defining features of this beef is how personal it got over the years. 50 once recalled an uncomfortable exchange at an event. When he says things, he doesn't even know what he's saying is like fruity. He says to Fabulous, "Me and you, we need to party." "What is you talking about?" 50 added. "He said something to me a long time ago, at Chris Lighty's wedding. He told me he'd take me shopping." I looked at him like, "What'd you just say?" "Let me move, man, before I do something. You gonna make me mess up the wedding." Diddy's response to all of this over the years was to wave it off. During Diddy's own appearance on The Breakfast Club, he dismissed any issues with 50. "I don't have no beef with Fifth. He loves me," Diddy said, smiling. "Y'all can't see that he loves me? You really think that's hate? You know he loves me." Things escalated in 2023 when Diddy's legal problems became public knowledge. In October 2023, 50 alleged that Combs was involved in the death of Tupac Shakur, who, like Biggie, was killed in a drive-by shooting. Combs has long denied any involvement in either death. And by 2025, 50 Cent was no longer just talking on Instagram. He had a production company, a Netflix deal, and a 4-part docuseries with his rival's name on it. The trolling had become an industry, and nobody in hip-hop could ignore it. Not everyone was on board with 50 Cent's documentary crusade. In fact, some of his oldest rivals used the moment to come after him. Ja Rule reignited his feud with rival 50 Cent over Netflix's 4-part docuseries about Diddy, and accused 50 of being no different than the convicted rapper. Curtis 50 Cent Jackson served as an executive producer on the new Diddy docuseries titled Sean Combs: The Reckoning, which premiered on the streamer on December 2, 2025. Jackson's involvement with the docuseries has been criticized by many online, including Ja Rule, who previously called the Indie Club rapper a rat and a snitch in a series of posts following the docuseries release. On December 7, 2025, Ja Rule continued bashing Jackson, suggesting that the rapper had an ulterior motive for releasing the documentary. According to Complex, Ja Rule called 50 Cent a cancer to the culture in one post. In another post, he alleged that Jackson was no different than Diddy, citing a 2013 incident where the rapper was accused of kicking Daphne Joy, the mother of his son Sire. The Ja Rule and 50 Cent beef is one of the oldest in the genre. The feud between 50 Cent and Ja Rule is one of the long-standing beefs in hip-hop, spanning over 2 decades. The beef reportedly originated after Ja Rule was robbed at gunpoint in Queens by one of Jackson's associates in 1999. There were different versions of how it started. In his 2005 biography, From Pieces to Weight, Jackson claimed that Ja Rule was enraged after seeing Jackson hang out with his robber at a club and greeted him with a cold shoulder. However, Ja Rule offered a different explanation. While the rapper confirmed that he was robbed at the time, he claimed that he never saw 50 Cent with his assailant. He further added that their feud began after Jackson took offense to allegedly being snubbed by Murder Inc. The feud involved diss tracks from both sides and physical altercations. When 50 Cent's G-Unit crew ran into Murder Inc. at Hit Factory Studios in New York City, things got physical again. Ja Rule allegedly got a tip-off that 50 was recording there and paid him a visit, resulting in 50 being stabbed by Murder Inc. rapper Black Child. So when Ja Rule came for 50 Cent over the documentary, it was not random. It was the latest chapter in a rivalry that has lasted a quarter century. Rule has been supportive of Diddy from the moment the latter started facing lawsuits over alleged sexual misconduct and other charges. 50 Cent, meanwhile, has been clashing with Diddy's representatives over the Netflix documentary. 50 Cent responded to Ja Rule's attacks in his own way by sharing a video clip of former Diddy bodyguard Gene Deal recounting a story about seeing Diddy and Ja come out of a room with just towels on. In case you're wondering why these people are saying very, very nasty things about me. LOL, 50 captioned the post. Diddy's own sons also entered the situation. Sean Diddy Combs' sons, Justin Combs and Christian King Combs, announced they will star in a new Zeus Network docuseries slated to debut in 2026 that aims to document how their family has been affected by their father's federal trial and conviction. The pair revealed the project with a trailer on social media on December 28, 2025, showing them watching footage from outside the courthouse. In May 2024, King Combs released a song titled Pick a Side in support of his father, and taking aim at critics like 50 Cent. The younger Combs and his brother, Justin, were temporarily handcuffed and detained by authorities during the March 2024 search of their father's home. Neither was arrested or charged, and 50 Cent kept trolling through all of it. After a measured GMA sit-down, 50 Cent was in full trolling mode. With some digital edits, the In-Dog Club rapper resurrected the Diddy and Jay-Z connection of earlier this year when the duo were co-defendants in a since dismissed and strongly disputed case. He also turned his trolling into a literal commercial. While DoorDash is technically selling food delivery, the real product is a masterclass in celebrity pettiness. Titled The Big Beef, the commercial starts with a wink to the audience as 50 Cent claims his days of being a troll are in the rear-view mirror. The 50-month figure is a direct reference to the prison sentence Sean Combs began serving in late 2025. This isn't just a joke about a stage name. It's 50 Cent using a high-profile digital campaign to dance on the grave of a career while his rival sits in a cell. Having already executive produced the documentary Sean Combs: The Reckoning, 50 is proving that in the world of celebrity beef, he is both the historian and the executioner. So between Ja Rule, Diddy's sons, and the general public discourse, the fallout from The Reckoning was enormous. But 50 Cent was already looking at his next target. This brings us to the most recent and possibly the most explosive development. On March 5th, 2026, 50 Cent posted something on Instagram that set the internet on fire. 50 Cent addressed the rumor that he's working on a documentary about T.I. and Tamika, Tiny Harris's sexual assault allegations. On Thursday morning, March 5th, the rapper-filmmaker posted a screenshot of an article that claimed he was developing a documentary tentatively titled Surviving T.I. and Tiny. The caption he wrote was deliberate. "Remember how quiet I got before the Diddy doc," 50 Cent wrote in his caption. "Dame thought I wasn't coming. I hope this doesn't mess up your promo tour. They're gonna ask about your 20 sexual assault cases. You might want to talk to a crisis PR person." The title itself was a calculated move. On March 5th, the media mogul posted and later deleted an Instagram screenshot teasing a documentary tentatively titled Surviving T.I. and Tiny, a name that deliberately echoes Lifetime's career-ending Surviving R. Kelly series. Now, this beef between 50 Cent and T.I. is not new either. The documentary threat is the latest escalation in a conflict that dates to 2007, when 50 called T.I. a snitch after his machine gun arrest and plea deal. The beef reignited in February 2026 when T.I. accused 50 of ducking a Versus battle during his Kill the King album promo run on Shannon Sharpe's Nightcap. 50 responded with Instagram trolling. T.I. did not let it slide. Over the past couple of weeks, Tip targeted 50 Cent in several diss tracks after the New York rapper declined to face him in a Versus battle. After dropping 3 diss records over the course of several days, his sons King Harris and Damani also joined in and dropped their own songs aimed at 50. And then T.I.'s family got involved in a way that crossed a major line. The beef took a dark turn when T.I.'s son King Harris entered the fray. King went live with a rant that targeted 50 Cent's late mother, Sabrina Jackson, who died when the rapper was only 8 years old. King's rhetoric was brutal, and he later wore a t-shirt featuring Sabrina Jackson's face, a move that even T.I. admitted went too far. T.I. eventually addressed the situation publicly. In an interview on The Abro Show, T.I. addressed his son's involvement. "I ain't got nothing to do with everybody moving on their own accord," he stated. While he expressed pride in his family standing together, he admitted he told King to take a step back after the shirt incident. But 50 Cent did not respond with diss tracks. He responded with something arguably more damaging. the documentary threat. 50 Cent has yet to drop a diss track against his foes, but he has destroyed them on film. He targeted his last enemy, Sean Diddy Combs, in his recent Netflix docuseries, The Reckoning. The four-part series covered Combs' life before and after he was buried under numerous sexual assault lawsuits. And the allegations he is referencing are real. The Harris couple has been accused by over 30 women and one man of a pattern of drugging, kidnapping, and sexual assault, which they have vehemently denied. The accusations started in 2021. In January 2021, an Atlanta entrepreneur named Sabrina Peterson publicly accused T.I. of holding a gun to her head. Dozens of women began coming forward with eerily consistent stories, alleging a disturbing system where T.I. and Tiny would invite women to VIP sections or hotel suites, provide them with drinks, and assault them. However, the legal outcomes have not produced convictions. Despite the volume and consistency of these accusations, the legal outcomes favored the Harris family. Criminal investigations were opened in Los Angeles and Las Vegas, but no criminal charges were ever formally filed, largely because the statute of limitations had already expired. T.I. and Tiny have maintained their innocence. T.I. responded to the allegations by stating, "Whatever we ever have done has been done with consensual adults, who into what we into and like what we like. If we want something, we know exactly where to go get it." As of yet, no convictions have resulted from these allegations. But 50 Cent is working in the space between legal outcomes and public perception. This gap between the legal reality and the court of public opinion is exactly where 50 Cent is operating. And here is the key detail. As of March 2026, there is no verified production schedule, network deal, or actual footage to confirm that Surviving T.I. and Tiny even exists. 50 Cent understands that in the modern era of instant viral media, the sheer threat of an exposing documentary often hits significantly harder than the actual project itself. 50 Cent even released a diss on the Power Origins theme song that targets T.I. and Tiny. The diss, featured on the theme for the new spin-off Power Origins, doesn't just target T.I. It also takes aim at his wife, Tamika Tiny Harris, and their children, reigniting a feud that dates back nearly 2 decades. The pattern is clear now. 50 Cent used The Reckoning as a proof of concept. He showed the entire industry what happens when he turns his attention towards somebody. He executive produced Sean Combs' The Reckoning for Netflix, a 4-part docuseries that dropped in December 2025 and pulled 21.8 million views in its first 6 days, according to Netflix. He proved he could make one of the biggest documentaries on the platform. He proved he could control a narrative, and now he is using the threat of that same playbook on T.I. Whether or not Surviving T.I. and Tiny ever becomes a real production is almost beside the point. The threat alone has already done what it was designed to do: put T.I. on the defensive, dominate the conversation, and remind every rapper with a skeleton in the closet that 50 Cent is watching. 50 Cent has survived being shot, outlasted industry shifts, and conquered the boardroom. Through it all, his sharpest tool has remained his refusal to let a good beef go to waste. And based on everything we have seen so far, this is not the end. This is just the beginning. Because if there is one thing 50 Cent has shown us time and time again, it is that he does not stop. He does not let up. And he absolutely does not forget. The only question left now is, who is next?